Tonight, a Ritzville hospital that faced potential closure back in 2025 lost millions of dollars. An audit reveals why it faced closure and what they're doing now to keep it open.
We have another round of snow moving in tonight, and we're talking some folks digging out tomorrow morning.
Plus, some patients are left without answers following the sudden closure of the Spokane Allergy and Asthma Clinic. Tonight, we hear from those patients about their frustration and confusion. Good evening. Thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News. I'm Sydney Schofield. Tonight, we're learning more about issues facing the Ritzville Hospital, operated by East Adams Rural Healthcare. The hospital faced a potential closure back in 2025, and now an independent audit confirms millions of dollars lost from previous administration staff. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy breaks down everything we know.
Months after East Adams Rural Healthcare faced a possible closure and/or layoffs due to budget woes, new details are emerging. The chief operating officer for East Adams, Dallas Killian, said an independent audit conducted by an accounting firm based out of Spokane Valley known as DZA. Documents revealed a loss of $10.5 million between 2022 and 2024. Current leadership revealed previous hospital administrators allegedly concealed deficits, falsified financial documents, and engaged in unauthorized spending. This includes false documents on a federal grant and falsely billed Medicaid and Medicare to the tune of just over $1 million. These discoveries were made in June of 2025, when at the time, the former CFO, whose name is not mentioned in the audit, resigned. This brought the hospital to the brink of closure that same year. The hospital sent what's called a warn notice to the state, telling them they may have to close back in November of last year. Documents also show there are 14 ongoing investigations into fraud at the hospital at the state, federal, and local government level, and 2 rounds of layoffs took place in 2025 to cut expenses. To continue operating, the hospital secured emergency funding and is currently working to settle roughly $5 million in unsecured debt. This, according to the audit, is to avoid filing for bankruptcy. East Adams Health also filed to operate as the state's first rural emergency hospital. This, the audit shows, would be a more sustainable hospital model by adjusting its workforce and lowering payroll expenses. That application has been submitted as of Thursday night. We've reached out to the interim CEO of East Adams, Dan Nita, for comment, but have not heard back. We'll continue following this story as it develops. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
All right, let's take a break from the headlines, turn our attention to that forecast. Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo in our Outdoor Weather Center. And Jeremy, when I had my break tonight and I stepped outside and I saw all those flakes, I was so excited.
Sydney, stick with me here for a second. Ready? Check this out. A little bit of fresh snow.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
I know. A little bit slick. I'm doing a little bit of a moonwalk out here. Temperatures already back in the 20s, 25 degrees here in town. I think we are going to make it back down to 20 officially in Spokane, and that's on the heels of our round of snow that has now moved into North Idaho. Winter weather advisories last till 1 a.m. for much of the Panhandle, but look down to the south. Snow still coming down, most of that up in the mountains now. Coeur d'Alene, you're on the tail end of it. Still seeing some of those showers come down there in town. Looking pretty good on radar, but this thing is dying down quickly. This will move out overnight. We catch breaks in the clouds, and that's why our temperatures drop so dramatically. Tomorrow, it's a mix of clouds and sun, and that means it's hard to warm up. 33 degrees is where we top out tomorrow after a morning low down in the teens for many. Saturday, we're back up in the 40s under mostly cloudy skies, and by Sunday, we're talking 40s and a chance of rain hitting the region late in the day.
Jeremy, thank you. It's time for your Nightbeat with a quick look at today's top stories. Patients across the Inland Northwest are now looking for a new provider after one of the only clinics across the Inland Northwest abruptly closed its doors. The Spokane Allergy and Asthma Clinic, now completely vacant with no warning. One patient says she went for a normal appointment just 2 days ago, and when she walked in for her follow-up today, she saw that permanent closure notice.
Could it have been notified, in time that we'll be closing and here's your shifting versus boom, we're closed. I put a lot of money into it to start, and now I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish.
So the clinic did provide patients with how they can get their medical records. They say patients have to go to a website called Desert River Solutions. Although patients say they're upset with this process because on top of the money they paid for their medication and their services, they now also have to pay $25 to get access to their records. We have that letter and everything you need to know posted right now to our website, KREM.com. And an update now to a story we've been following for a couple days. Spokane police say they've arrested 48-year-old Carl Lindsay in connection with yesterday's drive-by shooting. Authorities say they received reports about a man shooting a handgun from a black pickup truck near West Maxwell Avenue and North Howard Street yesterday. After arriving at the scene, police then received additional reports of a man with a firearm near Ash and Maxwell. They later arrested Lindsay in Northwest Spokane. And tonight we have new video from the sheriff's office. It shows Lindsay driving away from police in a truck. Police say they found Lindsay in downtown Spokane in a black truck. They say he then drove away from officers, leading police on a chase by crashing into an SPD patrol car near Government Way. He had his first appearance today in court. And actor Eric Dane, known for his roles in Grey's Anatomy and Euphoria, has died less than a year after announcing his ALS diagnosis. He was 53 years old. Dane is survived by his wife, actor Rebecca Gayhard, and their 2 teen daughters, Billy Beatrice and Georgia Geraldine. ALS is a disease with no cure that affects nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord. Its exact cause is still not known, and anyone at any age can be diagnosed with ALS. That's it for your Night Beat. For more on any of these stories, head to our website, KREM.com. After 24 years of service to his community, Coeur d'Alene engineer Dave Tisdall retired from the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department. His last official day was January 31st. As a result of injuries sustained in the Canfield Mountain shooting last summer, Tisdall's continued medical treatment and recovery made retirement the right move for him and his family. Tisdall joined the fire department in 2002 and is a founding member of the Idaho Disaster Dogs search team. Coming up here on the Night Report, after a fire destroyed the iconic Spokane Skyway Cafe last year, the owners say repairs are taking much longer than expected. We'll tell you when they plan to reopen. But first, a new Washington bill to lower the threshold for your blood alcohol level while driving is making its way through the legislature. The votes, though, may not be there. Everything we know coming up in just 90 seconds.